Alrighty guys, I'm pretty excited today because not only did Drake receive a buff that I have not checked out yet, but I'm also going to be testing out something different in this video. Instead of just looking, live reacting, going, whoa, that's a crazy skill, or wow, this doesn't change anything at all. Something I would like to do is then go and test out the new buff and see how well it performs, see if it really pushes the needle on anything, because now that I have all the supports on both sides of the game, I can actually get in there and see how much this really impacts the numbers on things. So hopefully Drake does have a fitting buff. It's something we actually can test out. I believe it's for her first skill? Maybe not. First skill upgrades to Beyond the Uncharted after strengthening quest skill. What the... What? I don't think that's the buff skill, guys. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, so I decided to go over to Atlas Academy because I have no idea what's going on over here with this, but sure, bro. Beyond the Uncharted, A after strengthening quest 2. Sure, man. So Atlas Academy usually has all these things updated, and yeah, would you look at that. So this is the old skill. It was a 17% NP damage buff and attack buff for the entire party, which was pretty good. And now it is 20% NP damage and 20% attack for the entire party for 3 turns, and a little NP gain of 20%. Yeah, this actually is something we can kind of tinker around with, because one, the values got raised a little bit. That's not actually the major thing here. It's not the damage getting raised, it's the fact that you would use Drake as a Buster Looper, and now you can loop this twice. This actually really should help her damage out quite a bit, mainly because this is going to be a 40% NP damage buff that is then getting buffed by Oberon's third skill. So her damage should actually be looking a bit better. It's, I would say, more so than anything, a quality of life buff for Drake, but I'm kind of excited to go test this thing out. Let's go see how good this kind of works out. So we just pop on over to FGO, and you can see I did it, bro. I started grinding. I was grinding bones and lanterns, and I had to spend all my lures on this, but I was like, dude, I'm really committed. I want to, I want to try this new thing where we, we'll look at a new skill buff and then we can go try it out. So let's just go to something simple. Let's go to the daily quest. Some light for Drake. This is something she should be able to definitely do. Just get in there and give us some decent numbers. That's all we're really looking for, is decent numbers. I guess we really should be looking for QPCEs, but it's not that big of a deal. Where is the busty farming team? All right, there we go. We just slide out our Saber Altar, and we gotta... Well, now I gotta find Drake. Yeah, look at that. I gotta... I was about to say I have the classes memorized, and I'm like, nope, that's casters. That's not the right one. All right, Drake, where are you at? Drake, where are you at? There you are. And then we're not going to be able to do Black Grail looping, so let's... I guess we could go Cranking. Cranking is fine. Or First Day of Filming for my NA people. Just generally a very solid Buster looping CE, because it gives you the Buster buff, the 50% starting gauge, and then also gives you a sizable NP damage buff, which works really well with this guy over here. We're going to have to bump one of you guys down, huh? Gotta go down to a... a 2-star? I don't know. Yeah, Bartholomew, come hang out with us. Alright, let's go check out what these numbers are going to look like after we get through our 5 minutes of loading. But, I mean, I don't think it's the... Okay, here's the weird thing. I'm not expecting anything insane from this, but I am expecting to see some pretty decent numbers. Do I think she's going to be hitting higher than, like, a mil? Maybe? Because she'll have the 40% NP damage buff, but you can see my Drake is like a pretty vanilla. I just got a random copy somewhere. So we're just going to go ahead and rapid fire all of our skills over here. Give ourselves that new all-powerful first skill. Give ourselves the Buster buff. I didn't mess up, right? That's a 3-turn Buster buff, right? Okay, thank goodness. I was like, wait. This isn't like an old Buster buff, right? Where it only lasts for 1 turn. That'd be really embarrassing. But alright, just dump our buffs on here. I guess we don't need to use these second skills, but I mean, it's just good to be in a habit of clicking the correct skills. It's not like these guys have man attribute or anything. Alright, so yeah, actually no, we can't do that. I was like, dude, we could plug suit in the Oberon And we could pop his first skill because we have a 50% battery, so we can afford to do that. We don't need the full 70%, so we could get extra damage on the second wave. Alright, Drake, go blow this guy up. Show me big Demoglios, because this is just with the extra 3%. So we're looking at 440. So what? Oh, I'm trying to do quick math. That's like about, what, maybe like 130? 130k per enemy? 130k thousand, right? Maybe? Something like that. I don't know. 140? Maybe. Who knows? Alright. Just drop these in here. And then, yeah, but this is what I was talking about. What we could do is we could plug suit an Oberon for the second wave and get that additional damage on wave 2. Because we're only going to need his 50% battery. And so, yeah, we can see now that we can loop this skill twice. Let's see some big damage from Drake. Let's just see her kind of rock these dudes real quick. Let's see some big damage. Yep, Drake, you get him with whatever you just said. When are we going to get the new Drake costume from the Extella games? But that's not too bad. What is... Oh, I'm actually... Dude, 676 is like a very weird number. I can't do that quick math in my head. So it was 676,000 by 3 enemies. 225? That's not bad damage. That's not bad. It's not crazy, but considering no power mods, it's just like good general damage. That's not terrible. But this is where the real money shot happens, alright? We've got, what is it? 40% from ourselves, 30% from Oberon's first skill? Let me double check that before somebody comes after me in the comments. And they're like, no, ZTL, it's 20%. But I used to think it was 20% for everybody, but I swear it's 30%. Yeah, it's 30%. So we're rocking 70% NP damage, which is not nothing. That is in between a non and fully Max Limit Broken Black Grail. Well, I guess we're getting a little bit of extra damage from that. Let's just eke out all the numbers we can. Alright, Drake. I mean, we're probably not going to hit 1 million because there's not as many enemies on the board, but we want to see what she's able to do against one person. This is a really important number to get. If you could show me like 500k, I'll be pretty happy. 455? It's not quite where I wanted to be. But... Alright, so just first impressions. Yeah, obviously, it's not the craziest skill buff ever. It does, I think, open up her damage a lot. I think this will be really good. Can you use this in some kind of multi-core set? Is there a way to get the skill looped twice? Yes, you could do it with double Kalyanskaya. We saw that. You can get the, you can get it back on turn 2. So you have like a single target. That's not nothing. It's also not terrible if you need Drake to clear a wave. She gives that NP gain buff. That's also not nothing if you're really just a shred off from being able to loop something. That's not terrible. 455, that could also be a roll. Mind you, we haven't done numerous runs to see what the high roll, the low roll, and what the average roll is going to be. Because if you didn't know, you can sometimes roll a little bit higher, roll a little bit lower. You might have noticed that if you're farming the game and you're like, wow, I have the same buffs and my Saber Ultra did 100,000, but last time she did 80,000. It's because you can get little rolls and in between. Because why not throw extra RNG in your gacha game, right? But at the very least, if you need her for, like, for 90 plus quests, this is going to be pretty free and guaranteed. But for 90 plus pluses, I mean, this is just straight up not good enough if you need her to take out the main enemy. Yeah, because she just doesn't have any power mods or anything. But it's not a bad setup, right? As somewhat of a fixer-upper skill to kind of take her Voyager of the Storm to whatever it was called now, it's not bad. But I'm also just wondering, why couldn't you have maybe tossed like a 30% power mod or 50 for herself? If this is the numbers she's going to be doing. I mean, granted, this is NP1, and so if you've gotten just a boatload of Drakes, you're obviously going to be hitting a bit harder than this. I mean, NP2 is a pretty significant jump up from what we're rocking right here. But, I mean, things we could do to beef up her damage is like, you know, you could Grail her a little bit, we could Gold Foe her, but I'm obviously I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that just for a showcase. I could level up the cranking, right? It's level 55. Valentine's is going on right now, but I'm not going to lie. I think I've kind of seen what I needed to see. If she's at 455 and maybe she can roll up to 500k, that's all right. That's like fine damage. I think it's, it's also kind of solid going into CQs, I guess. You know what I'm not considering? This is going to sound really goofy, but you're in some kind of CQ, right? And say it's a caster and it's like a rider split. You are being able to loop that first skill, giving your Koyanskaya a pretty big damage increase. So if you need your Koyanskaya to pick up some of the slack, I guess that's something that you could do, but overall, I don't think it's like a bad buff by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely not terrible, but it's not it's not like, oh, Drake is crazy now. Drake is gonna be just dunking on everybody. Like, let's go, you guys know, you know me, I love my yapping. So let's just yap for a second and kind of come over here and look at where she's at. Because usually they keep this updated pretty frequently. Yeah, Drake is up to 29. I think she was at like 26 before this. So yeah, it kind of gets her closer to that 30k that some of these other AoEs are at. But yeah, it's not pushing above base Ivan without his power mods. It's not pushing above Iskandar. Now, for Iskandar, though, I believe, yeah, you can see I was legitimately checked the Oberon to make sure I was right. Iskandar only does this much damage because he has this Buster buff for one turn. You can get it for a second turn, but, obviously, he's not going to be hitting this hard for all three nodes. But still something to note. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of feels a little weird. We couldn't have tossed her, like, a power mod or something? I guess, I don't know. Maybe they still want you to use her in CQs because she does pierce defense here. She pierces invincibility here. Maybe they don't want to give her too much because she has a 50% gauge. And, like, Ivan's got, what, like a 30-40%? And Iskandar, I believe, has a 30%. I don't know. It's a little weird. No crit damage? Even some crit damage would have been kind of nice. I don't know. It's weird. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I mean, I'm always one for fixing up these older skills and saying, okay, here, you can loop this again, and we'll give everybody some NP gain, but I don't know. Maybe I might have more rathered, instead of the NP gain, maybe she gave everybody crit damage. That might be more in line with what Drake wants to do. You could maybe make up for some of her lower numbers going into like a 90++ node, maybe fishing for some crits with her face cards or something, or allowing a secondary DPS to crit. But again, I'm not gonna lie, the NP gain could be helpful for some setups where you just need Drake to mop one of the waves, and then boom, now you're getting NP damage, attack, and now you're getting NP gain. So if your main AoE other DPS is an arts or quick, maybe they could do a little bit better. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think it's fine. Like I've said a couple of times, it's fine. It's all right. Ooh, wow, they really... How old is this interlude? Wow, they did nothing on this. Ooh. Oof. Yeah, how about guys, let's come back and let's fix up this NP as well, dude. Come on, man. But I do feel, little spoiler for when we do the Okeanu's story recap. But for someone that did fight and beat up Poseidon, maybe some kind of anti-sky, anti-divinity power mod. Do you know how much we are just killing out here for more good sky attribute people? You know how annoying it is to fight these sky attribute people whenever they pop up? How about you give me some of that, man? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget, I remember right at the end of the video, do the YouTube stuff. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I mean, I already said comment your thoughts, but legitimately, I love going through the comments and seeing what people think and all that good stuff. Also, Patreon down in the description down below. We're probably going to do some runs on the CQ, and so any failed runs will go up on the Patreon for any member. I think it starts at like $1 and goes up to, I have no idea. I made it so long ago, and I was like, I don't know, does $5? I don't know. But I make everything available for every single tier because you can't be bothered to try to be like, well, if you do the 3.5 tier, you get a sticker, and if you do $4, you get a sticker in the mail. I'm not doing all that stuff, man. Just whatever tier you want to do. So with that being said, I'm going to go to get out of here. You guys have just a nice day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!